Sometimes when sickness starts to happen over and over again, or you start seeing the people around you who are aging and no longer who they were when you were younger, you start to grieve them before they've left this earth. Hey y'all, I'm Samantha, a therapist here at Headspace, and this is Ask a Therapist, a series where I'm going to be answering some questions submitted by you all and our members to see if I can provide a little bit of guidance for those who might need it. This next question is from Jessica, and we're going to be talking about aging anxiety.
I'm almost turning 30, and I'm feeling a lot of anxiety around losing my 20s. It feels like the years are slipping through my fingers, and I can never get my 20s back. It puts me in a state of freeze because I feel so much pressure to make the most out of my time. Do you have any advice?
I sure do, Jessica. Thank you so much for sending in this question. First, let's just call out leaving behind a decade or a year. Grief is about losing something, leaving something behind. It is okay to say, man, goodbye to my 20s. It was nice knowing you, but also celebrate what you're getting ready to do. Celebrate the adventure that is before you. There's an opportunity here to really get excited about what is to come. Now you also have an opportunity to stay stuck in your 20s. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? You're not losing something. You're actually gaining more life to live. That excites me. It makes me think about, what does it really mean to live? What does it really mean to have more birthdays? Instead of considering that your best years are behind you, you have all this life that's there right now. My best years are the years where I am wholly and fully present, being curious about myself, how I show up in the world. But take some time to think about, what is it that you actually feel like you are moving away from? There will be some transitions and changes that happen because that's what happens with growth. You will find yourself in a new season. All the behaviors that you had in that previous season, they will not go with you in the next season. This gives you such an opportunity to just be on an adventure with yourself, and that just feels beautiful. Your next part of the question was this state of freeze and feeling so much pressure. Where is the pressure coming from? Who's creating the rules? If the pressure is coming from you to have a certain life or be at a certain point at whatever certain age, change it. Instead of thinking I have to have this job by this age, I actually get to explore to see, where do I want to pour my gifts at this time in my life? That is very different from saying, oh my gosh, I'm here at this age and I should be doing this, even if it's something you hate. When I think about just pressure in general, I always start with me because I'm an adult. That's the beauty of the 20s, the 30s, 40s. When you're an adult, you start making your own rules. And what if you just change the rules up a little bit to serve you in a much better way that allowed for adventure, allowed for curiosity and exploration on into your 30s and above? Well, thank you, Jessica, for sending in that question. I hope that it was helpful. Enjoy your at last of your 20s. Throw a party. Goodbye, 20s. See you. Hey, 30s. I'm here. 30s has no idea what you're about to bring into it. So I'm excited for you. Get excited for yourself. Get your friends, family, everybody else excited, and head on into your 30s, girl. This next question is from Jimmy, and he's asking about anxiety around aging.
My name is Jimmy, living in Shanghai. I'm about to turn 43 this April. I love sports and I'm diagnosed of depression in 2021. I'm currently exercising a lot because that is almost the only way to lift me up. But I just got lower back pain after 10K running. I have to stop exercise for a break. I'm very disappointed of my body, which I need to use it against depression. I'm feeling that I'm getting old and drifting away. My mom is 72 years old. My dad died from cancer 7 years ago. My mom lost her left ear hearing in 2023. I feel like watching a nightmare coming true. I understand that everybody dies, but this downhill is breaking my heart. Endless sadness. I'm really looking forward to your feedback soon.
Thank you, Jimmy, for sharing your question and your heart with us. This is heavy, and it's hard to experience all of these things at one time and not feel like it's a nightmare happening or coming to life. Aging, grief, and loss is all it's just a lot happening, and it felt like there were different questions within this one question. So I see where you shared that you were diagnosed with depression in 2021, and while we are talking about exercising may not be able to be your primary form of coping skill at the time, I don't know if you're already seeing a therapist or another mental health professional, but they might help you to really get curious about yourself. This is an opportunity to learn other ways to cope with depression, and that could be other forms of mindful movement. It could be getting new hobbies. It could be joining a club. There are so many different coping skills that you might come up with, and I'm wondering if this is an opportunity to explore those. The other part of the question is around aging and the grief around experiencing your father's passing and your other family members getting older. That is our life experience. That is our life's journey to go from birth to a passing. And what we do in the middle is what is the most important. I wonder if you asking us that question is an opportunity to explore how you are living life, how you are taking full advantage of the life you are living now. And with your mom, how are you living that with her? What experiences do you want to have with her now, rather than looking towards that end of life that is not here? Sometimes when sickness starts to happen over and over again, or you start seeing the people around you who are aging and no longer who they were when you were younger, you start to grieve them before they've left this earth. And I would encourage you to honor that life while it is here. And then when the time comes, you honor the life that you had and the time that you had with them. And I hope that I have been able to, give some heart to your question and truly hear what you are asking and give you some guidance and an opportunity to think about things a little bit differently. I appreciate you for writing in, and I hope that this has been helpful. And Jimmy or anyone else who might be looking for additional resources or support, you can always connect with a Headspace coach or therapist, or look for Challenging Times collection in the app. This next question is from William, and we're going to be talking about recovery.
I'm on the road to recovery. When we experience a setback, what are some ways we can learn to forgive ourselves and find the strength to keep moving forward? Very thankful for Headspace. It has been an important part of my journey.
Well, William, first, thank you for sending in the question. And then I want to start by saying recovery in anything is not about perfection. It's about the journey. And that journey can look many different ways, but you define what success in that recovery looks like. And it also takes so much self-compassion and grace to be in recovery from anything, really to be on any journey, a learning journey. Whenever you're trying to go from one point A to point B, there's a lot of self-compassion that has to happen because you have created what it should look like to go from A to B. And it doesn't always work that way. Our journeys of life is not linear, and when we're not open to setbacks, we find ourselves feeling shame or guilt or beating ourselves up because it's just not turning out the way that we thought it should be. There is an opportunity to change how you thought it should be, or releasing the outcome. You don't have to know what the outcome is going to be. What's your responsibility is taking small steps every single day. If a day is too long, every single minute. If a minute's too long, every single second. But making sure you are taking small steps to get to where you're trying to go. You do have an end goal in mind, but how you get there, you get to be creative. So I want you to give yourself permission to be creative in your recovery journey. So the next part of your question was about if you do have a setback, what do you do? But whenever you have what you consider as a setback, first, give yourself compassion, like we said. And then secondly, find a way to restart. Find a way to look at the pieces that have fallen. What do you need to pick up? Do you pick them all up? Or do you just pick one up to see, how can I put this thing back together? Find a way to not stay in the guilt and the shame too long, because at some point you have to get back to your journey. Remember, you're going from here to here. If you get here and experience a setback and you decide, you know what, I'm gonna stay and just analyze this for the next 20 years, when are you ever gonna get over here? Okay? So just recognize that setbacks will be a part of the journey. And how long and how much time, what do you need? Start thinking about the resources. Who do you need to bring on board to help you pick those pieces up and then keep moving on your journey? It does not have to be perfect. Your end goal may not look like what you thought, but your responsibility is continuing to pick up the pieces and continue to move forward. Making sure you have community, coach, asking for help if you need help. There are so many things that you can do to just make sure you're not on the journey alone. So when you feel like a setback happens, you have what you need to pick it up and keep moving. William, thank you so much for writing in. Just remember, you are resilient. You have gotten this far, which means you've been on this journey. So you know what it takes to pick yourself up and keep on moving, to do what it takes to keep on going on the journey. So to William, anyone else who might need this information, I really hope that this is helpful and you are not alone. We are encouraging you and you got this. If you have any questions you'd like to submit for a future episode of Ask a Therapist, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you.